All right, everyone, here we go with the energy weather update. I'm going to say it's probably about a week and a half long energy. I'll just open with that. I'll put it in the title, what ish I kind of think it is, like, you know, the 8th through the 16th ish or something like that. So what do we got going on here? What are the surrounding energies? And how maybe we should behave in them? I got a pre-shuffle here. I got a little barn owl. Now this often comes up, Page of Swords comes up as a spying energy. It's usually a spying energy not there. This time around, right, these guys, when they're spying, they're looking things. They're seeing things. They're projecting things. This is Page of Swords and the Nine of Wands. This is something that you may have predicted, right? You may have told other people about something. I'm just giving you an example of the energy, right? This happens all the time to people like me. You know, I read energy, sure, and I do that for you here. But I also have prophecies that I write. I write things that are going to happen in the future, and I write them down. I don't generally share them here because on the 2 occasions I have shared them, I've gotten dinged for it, and it's hurt the channel because people have thumbs down the video like fucking crazy. You know, one of them was the what's happening right now in the world. I predicted in one of these energy weather updates about a year and a half, couple years ago, I said now is the time and the energy to save for a rainy day. And that rainy day in the energy was coming sometime between the middle of 26 and the middle of 27. Well, here we are. It's pouring, right? They're having trouble with the gas pumps, trying to figure out how to get them to read $10 a gallon. You know, so at the end of the day here, you know, we live in a world. I'll give you a piece of advice. If you're like me and you see things that are coming, you see ahead, whether it's in prophecies or business or relationships, whatever it is, I'll give you a tip. We do not live in a world that rewards people that can see ahead, people that see what's coming down the road. We live in a world where most people live in a world of delusion. They lie to themselves to get through the day. They live in a moment, a little bubble. And if you try to tell them too much about what's coming, they freak out. Right? No, that's not true. I don't want to do that. Right? This is, whatever this is here, this is something you're disappointed that nobody listened to you because it's happening. Right? You could see it plain as day, and now you're in a position to make plans to move ahead for it. Right? As though you watched that reading I did a while ago and you saved for a rainy day. Now you don't care what a loaf of bread costs. You don't care what gas costs because you were smart. You played it safe. Energy's like a sine wave. Goes up and down, up and down. We call it the river, but it flows like a sine wave. It has peaks and troughs, meaning. In the peaks, you save for the troughs. In the troughs, you spend what you saved in the peaks. It's the way it has to work. That's the way it always flows. That being said, the energy around us right now is making you very prophetic. Either this is something that's about to happen now, where you predict something or you tell someone something about their relationship, or you tell them something about their business. I've done that a million times. I get people come to me with business ideas all the time. Hey, Steve, can we do this? And I go, well, yeah, but I run the projections. I do a spreadsheet. I go, you know, no magic, no energy reading, just a simple spreadsheet, right? 3 years from now, you're going to be rolling in debt and this thing's not scalable. So I don't think it's a good idea. They don't want to hear that because in the moment, they think it's a great idea. Okay, that's fine. You want to sell sand in the desert. That sounds okay. But you're going to run into sort of a supply and demand issue at some point, right? You'd be surprised. People don't like to hear it, you know. So whatever this is, this might be something where your prophetic abilities are coming into play right now. You might predict some things and you might be disappointed that people don't want to hear it. Because you know they need to be making plans. They need to be getting things done. It's coming from a higher power. I will tell you that, okay? Whatever you're doing, whatever you're predicting is coming from a higher power. This may show up in your horoscopes. It might. Definitely what's showing up now, and I took a look around the day after. I got up this morning and took a look around, and sure enough, what I talked about in my Steve reading from yesterday, from Sunday, right? About the whole thing you're worried about being nothing. That's all over the horoscopes, all over the place. right? They're equating it to all sorts of different things, but it's, it's basically a big part of the energy that I said it was in that reading. Anyway, this might show up in your horoscopes, it might not. Either way, I'm giving you some energy reading here. All right? Play it safe. Now, believe what your intuition is telling you. All right? That's what the surface energy is saying. Let's pull 3 cards and a bottom card. Let's go. It's important. I think the most important part of the energy weather update is the pre-shuffle, because it's what the universe wants to tell you. And I spent a lot of time shuffling for that. I didn't know where this was going. I thought this was going to be a repeat. While I was shuffling for the pre-shuffle, I thought this was going to be a repeat of the Sunday reading, the reading with me. Well, we talked about things you were worried about and all this other stuff. Actually, it's your prophetic abilities coming in. Your ability to predict what's around the next corner, okay? Or even further out. And again, I want to remind you, do not get discouraged. Do not get disappointed, all right? Take my reading, for example. The reading, the energy weather update, where I said now is the time to save for when the energy is going to be rough. We're going to hit a rough patch in 2026, 2027, right? Nobody wanted to hear it. I got dinged for it. I didn't let it get me down. I'm just trying to help. I'm doing my job when I say something like that. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to whatever, right? That being said, you're in the same boat here with something. I don't know what it is. People don't want to hear it. That's their problem. Your job with this energy is to tell them about it so that they land in a good position. All right? So share what you see. It might disappoint you that people don't want to hear it. Some people won't. And even if you don't want to hear it, even if you're somebody who doesn't want to hear it, at least consider it. What is all this rigid? We have a problem with the energy of people being too rigid in what they think. You're going to go over a cliff with a bus if you're like that with anything. You can't even be like that on a date, in a relationship, or with a job. So at the end of the day here, whatever it is that you're predicting, right, stick with it. Believe it. Trust it. It's coming from a higher power. Some of you, the higher vibration of you watching, there's 2 subsets here. There's the higher vibration that are watching where you're getting the prophetic message and telling it to other people around you. Could just be in your life. You don't have to have a YouTube channel, right? God forbid if you do. I got people on the high vibration who are getting from a higher power, and I got people on the other side who will not want to listen. Both sides are here. I'm trying to reach the people who will not listen. I'm sure you'll listen to your intuition if you're a higher vibration person. I'm not so sure the lower vibration that are here will want to listen. And how do you know if you're one of those? If you're rigid. If you're rigid, that's up. If you're just absolutely stuck on the idea that you cannot possibly be wrong, that is super low vibration. Be careful about that. Okay? So, here we go. Bottom of the deck. Ace of Pentacles. Well, something's taking, a lot of times, things take a while to get here, right? This is grandma on the freeway at 15 miles an hour. It'll be crossing the center card I pull. The Fool. The World. The World been coming up a lot in my offline reads too. My offline decks have some very scary world cards. I would tell you, this is scary. And an Emperor, right? What's underneath this? The King of Wands. Ego. The Burger King. Yeah. Yeah, okay. These are red, center, left, right. Imagine, I'll give it to you this way. You can apply it however you want, but I'll give it to you this way. Imagine you're the passenger in a car, and you're going down the road. You know where you're going. Both people in the car. Someone's driving. You're the passenger. It's only a 2-seater. Nobody in the back seat. You both know where you're going, right? But you know that you got to take exit 27 off the freeway. And your person driving blows right by exit 27. You've been talking about exit 27 since exit 10. But the person driving thinks that they know where they're going, and they blow right past exit 27. Okay? It's your job knowing that. I'm telling you that right now. They're going to blow past exit 27. So you need to be even more firm in stating when you're around exit 15, exit 20, etc., that you need to get off on 27. And this person's ego is going to kick in. This is specific to something in your life. It applies to societal energies too. If you figure something out that we're going the wrong way there, yeah, by all means tell other people. But you're probably wasting your breath if they're stuck in the energy of this energetic storm. They're not going to hear you, right? They're not going to hear a damn word you say. It doesn't matter. It's a bit like time travel, where if you went back to the Titanic, it told everybody the ship was going to sink. They'd just walk past you like you weren't saying anything. It has that kind of effect. So I wouldn't even waste your time. But what's going to happen out there in society is a freight train of destiny that has to happen. It's a lesson that needs to be learned. It's a lesson that's taught every time this energetic storm comes around. World War II, Civil War, Revolutionary War, Queen Anne time. I can keep going. 1,000 years all the way back. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day here, what I've got is I've got you, a situation in your life where you're reminding somebody to do something. You're telling somebody that they have to do something. And this person thinks that there's so much the shit that they're probably not going to listen to you. So you're getting this reading so you know that they won't listen to you. You're going to have to hammer this home. Why? Because I think this affects your life too. This is a big cycle change. This is somebody who's in your life. A spouse, a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend kind of a thing, whatever. A friend that you see every day, a work partner. This could be a business partner. Wants to go down a certain road, wants to make a certain deal. And you're like, no, we can't do that. We need to look at the data first. Keep reminding them. Whatever it is, whatever message you're getting from a higher power, from the future, listen to it. And remember that you're dealing with somebody with a big ego, an overinflated ego who thinks that they know what they're doing. You know that they don't. This person, people that think that they know what they're doing, like I always say, people that fancy themselves things are rarely those things. People that think that they know what they're doing just take crazy moves, crazy little leaps. That bird is nowhere near ready to leave the nest. Nowhere near. All right? Not even fledged yet. Right? He can't fly, he can't do anything. All right? That being said, that's what's going on here. That's what this is. This is a big deal. You've got time to convince whoever this is of your prophecy. Whatever it is. And again, I use big events as an example. I use my own personal experience as an example. I learned a lot. I learned a lesson about not doing that. It hurts the channel, and I like to keep the channel in one piece for people that like it, you know? So you're gonna hurt your relationship with this person is my point. You're going to hurt your relationship with this person, whoever this person is in your life. I'm going to clarify a couple of things, all right? But you've got a lot of time to convince this ego-based person that they're making a bad mistake. I use the example of the freeway because it's simple. You can't just nonchalantly say, we need to get off at exit 27. It says right here on the map. The universe is giving you a map. That's what it essentially does with with a prophecy, with prophetic energy. It gives you a little map. You look, we need to get off at exit 27. I see it right there. You can't just say it once around exit 10 or 15. You got to keep saying it over and over and over and over, right? This person here, they think they know what they're doing. They're about to jam you up. You get jammed up. Let's find out. Let's pull 3 more cards and a bottom card, right? Let's see what's going on. What else you want to tell me about this? It's important energy. It's a big deal. It's frustrating when you get messages from the future. The world does not respect. We don't live in a world that appreciates people that can see too far ahead. That's a good way to phrase it. It's very true. People live in a little bubble, and if you come in and pop that bubble, that's why low vibrational people don't like high vibrational people. We smash their illusions. We pop their bubble. You might be one of those people. You do that. If you're getting messages like that, if you know what's going to happen before it happens. And you don't have to have any magic. You might just put together a spreadsheet on something this person's talking about. The point here is you need to not just show them the spreadsheet once. Don't just send it to them and assume that they've looked at it. They haven't. They trashed it, or they just left it in their inbox, or moved it to a storage folder in their inbox. You need to physically print out that fucking spreadsheet and bring it to them, sit them down and show it to them. That's what's going on here, all right? This is important because whatever this is, whatever message you're getting from the future, affects you in some way, affects your life in some way. For some people in societal energies, with my offline reads, a lot of people that aren't activists are becoming active. They're rising up, that kind of a thing. You know, there's an energy of wanting to be free. There's a liberating energy. It applies in relationships and in societal energies. I mean, it doesn't take rocket science to figure out that authoritarian isn't free. I'm not even sure the AI will let me say that. That's how bad free speech has gotten. Here we go with the Hermit. Let's see where we go. Yeah, you're getting some messages. You are. You're getting some messages. The Magician, the Ten of Wands, and I was just looking at the timing on the reading, and the Judgment, Karma. Yeah. You're getting a very hard message to deliver, but you're also getting the means to deliver it in a clever way. Okay? Don't ignore it. It'll come to you in a dream. It'll come to you while you're walking down the street. It'll come to you in a moment of trance of some kind. A state of sleep is possible. A meditative state is possible. Or you could just drift. You could just be sitting at work and you find yourself drifting. And you have this thought, this realization. Suddenly you could see a road in front of you. Right? It plays out differently for all people. But generally it's like a map or a road. And generally you can see the road in front of you. Whatever it is, it's a difficult message to give. But you have the higher vibrational person is the one who gets it. And you're getting the means. God, Source, the universe itself is giving you the means to do it. All the tools you need to deliver it are there. Whatever it is. I think I use big world examples. But I think for most of you watching, this is a localized thing. This is somebody in your life that's about to make a huge mistake. I live this all the time. People come to me for business advice. They come to me for all sorts of advice. They never want to hear what I have to say. Because what I have to say usually pops their delusional nutcase bubble. Right? Whatever it is. I mean, I've had people come to me with some crazy ideas that do on the surface sound good. It does. Sometimes they're viable ideas or viable things or viable ways of looking at things on the surface. But when you go deeper, not so much. They don't like it when you go deeper. You're going deep here. I got a hermit. I got God, Source, the universe itself. I've got depth. You have a delivery method that, again, it's going to be hard for the people to hear. But you've got to keep hammering it home. Okay, keep reminding them it's exit 27 with each passing exit you go by. If it's a spreadsheet for business, don't just send it to them. Go there. If it's a friend who's getting back together with somebody and you've seen where it's going to go, you need to keep hammering it home. Do not change your message because they're upset. Well, I can see you're upset, so I guess everything will be great with you guys. No. It ends up biting you in the ass if you do. Okay? So keep that in mind. Do what you want to do. Make your own decisions. I'm just here to help. And believe me, if this applies to you, you have my deepest sympathies. Offline and online. I've been bit by this. And yep, usually I have a pretty good hit rate. Over the last 25 years, the prophecies that I've made have a greater than 92% hit rate. And even the ones that were a little bit off were rhyming. They were off, but they rhymed. It was close, right? That kind of a thing. At the end of the day, you have my sympathies. People don't want to hear it. The main message here, the thing to always remember, especially if you're someone with psychic abilities or you could see the future and all of that, we do not live in a society, in a world where most people, who I tell you not to be like, we do not live in a society or in a world that rewards people who can see too far ahead. I mean, look at all the rash actions that have happened and the messes we've gotten in because of it out there in the world. Just quick to say, I had a thought. Bam, there you go. Things require a bit more planning than that. You got to be careful, right? This is a similar situation for you in a more localized part of your life, okay? That is your reading. I wish you the best, all right? I wish you the best of luck with this. It's all I could tell you. It feels very, I can't even say, it feels a little bit businessy to me. It might, something that affects your money, okay? I don't know. Maybe you've got a spouse or something that wants to, spend a huge chunk of money right now on something. You're probably overpaying if you do that. You might want to wait. Maybe your prophecy, your vision says, we should wait a little while. We'll probably get it at a better price down the road. It could be something like that. But you've got to keep hammering that home and not give in on it. You're being given all the tools you need, right? I hate that read on it, but it's there to do it. That's your reading. I hope it was helpful. Okay, good luck.